What up guys, Supermetal983 here bringing us another CD review, and we're going to continue on with the local promotion. I've got a killer 2017 release from the local area that you definitely need to check out. If you're into melodic black metal or old school death metal, you'll find something to like about these guys. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Yeah, this is the new album from the band Horrified, entitled Allure of the Fallen. This is released under Shadow Kingdom Records. Now, if you aren't too familiar with Horrified, but if you're from the northeast, you know who the fucking are. But for those who don't, Horrified is a current three-piece kind of melodic black metal band nowadays. Back in the days, there used to be a four-piece kind of dwelling to the lines of old school death metal, maybe a bit of tech influence here and there, like old school Gorguts kind of style. They've released two albums in the past, Descend into Putridity, I think it's called, and Of Despair. I myself own the debut, but I don't own Of Despair yet. I need to get around to getting that at some point, but anyway. But yeah, they start off as old school death metal and playing a very old school sound of like, it's kind of like raw death metal, very old school sounding as if it was from back in the day. Very nasty, very aggressive, and very just straight old school. It sounded really sick. Although in my opinion at the time when those albums came out, I wasn't really massive into the old school death metal sound. It's kind of grown on me as thrash and other types of black metal and stuff like that. But anyway, but then behold, in 2017 the band has got a new lineup. We've got new drummer, new bassist, and Dan, the main man behind the project who does guitar and vocals, has decided to undergo a change of genre and dwell into some new style of melodic black metal. There is still a bit of old school death metal vibes in there, and particularly in the vocals department if you ask me. But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Now, this album I've been really looking forward to this year, especially since when they released the artwork. I mean, I'm going to actually take it out of the CD just to show you, because I think personally this artwork is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I love stuff like this, painting stuff with no logos, no album titles or anything, just straight, there's the artwork. I love that sort of stuff. So much so that I picked up the shirt from Hells Headbangers, which I'll leave a link down below, and also links to where you can find this album. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit skeptical about a band changing genre. I've always been that, and most people are. But I have to say though, straight away, that this was the right decision to make, and I think this has made us feel so happy about this change. I mean, this album is easily one of the best black metal releases of 2017, if you ask me. I love the atmospheric elements that are in there, and the ambience that it creates on this album. It's very melodic, hence the term melodic black metal, obviously, but it really encapsulates a very, very nice, soothing atmosphere. It's not like a raw, nasty black metal. It's got a raw sense to it. Like, it's not overly clean production. It's got that real, like, kind of slight necroness to the overall production that I think overwhelms it and surrounds the album and gives it that little bit more atmosphere to add to the already melodic riffs that you find on this album. Now, I can't really put any references to styles and stuff like that, or if you're a fan of this, then you're a fan of that, because in my opinion, I'm not really massive into the whole melodic black metal kind of stuff. But what I can see is I definitely feel a lot of atmospheric black metal elements in this release. It's very atmospheric, very melodic, and quite soothing in some places. The only thing that actually came to mind when listening to this album was kind of a bit of Curse by Warden's Throne. That's the only kind of real direction that I can kind of feel and summarize to. But if you're a fan of that album, then you might find something to like about this album. I have to say the drums are very tightly played on this record, very fast-paced. It feels like it's, like, as well as obviously change of styles, that the musicianship has upped in factor a hell of a lot compared to Of Despair. Like, I felt Of Despair was a good album, it just wasn't like great in comparison to Descent into Putridity, if you ask me. But I feel like when you've changed genre, that sometimes it can differ a little bit in one's abilities, but I feel like the style of the drums is very fast-paced, very impactful, and very pounding. I think it still creates some great atmospheres when it needs to be, and the drum playthrough work is absolutely phenomenal. So props to the drummer. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm gonna have a quick gander at the book just to clarify. James Charlton, sorry. Absolutely phenomenal drum work, and honestly honestly impressed with the drum work on this. Very, very tight, very impactful, but still creating the great atmospheres that need be. And also props to Lee Anderson, the bassist. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest bassists in the Northeast, and this album, I think, shows what he is capable of. Obviously, with black metal, there's a lot of chord progressions in there, getting those great atmospheres going. But there's a lot of elements that really add to it that Lee's added, like adding sweeps during some chord progression, like adding some nice swoopy like sweeps in there, just giving it that another little factor, just that warm, like smooth kind of bass playing, just cutting through so finely that it's just like, it's like as if serenading over that, obviously those chords, just giving it the atmosphere, but then soothing you with the bass smooth licks in there, and it just adds to the bass feels of the album. And that's what I love to hear as a bassist, bringing forth something like just to cut through, like I'm still here, I'm not here just to play a root notes, you know, like you have finding a lot of black metal in my opinion. But absolutely phenomenal bass work, very warm and very nice bass tone. Really enjoy that a lot. Guitar work, kind of see him sort of lines of what drums and bass come across. It's very it's quite raw sounding. It's not like a super clean production that you would hear on a modern record. It just sounds like it was pretty old school, and then that's where I feel like I get the whole kind of old school death metal kind of vibe, because it feels a bit old school death metal influence still in the production department, but it still adds like that little bit more to the overall atmosphere of the album, and it gives it more majesticness when you listen to it. It's quite a soothing release, I find. Like when you listen to this album, you definitely feel like it's not there to obviously rip your face off. It's just there to have a good time record that's just soothing. I mean, there's been countless times that I've had this album just on me little dock over there, because I listen to music just before bed, that I've stuck it on, and it just soothes you right into this really nice slumber of melodic black metal. And if an album can do that and give me a good night's sleep when I'm in the foulest of moods, that's a good album if you ask me. Vocals are definitely in the old school department if you ask me. They're very raw and very nasty sounding. They just sound very nasty and just disturbing vocals. They sound like the chants from the, like, basically if you look at that artwork, it sounds like there's someone right at the back of there just like screaming his heart out, just like despair and desolation, and just filled with that sort of like raw. It's not as if like for example, you know, it's not like you're listening to like a fucking like depressive suicidal black metal album there. It's just like the most dreary sounding stuff you've ever heard, and just depressive as hell. It just sounds very raw and nasty and crunchy. It kind of has a bit of a crunchy kind of vibe to the vocals, and just sounds raw and nasty, and I absolutely love it. And it definitely adds to the overall atmosphere with the reverbs going on in it, and it actually delaying out into the cleaner parts of the album. The cleaner parts of the album is definitely something that breaks up the album, makes it sound all that more soothing and a bit more a progression to the album, and it adds so much to the album and gives it that little more oomph and bit wow factor to it. And I think that this album is definitely a new chapter in Horrified's career. They've done the old school death metal. Will we see more melodic black metal maybe in the future? I sure fucking hope so, because this album, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. It's a great listen. It's very enjoyable. I showed so many of my mates this and just said, you need to fucking check this out if you like old school stuff. And it's something just to soothe your soul, basically, and put your mind at ease. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm very happy to own this. And I saw the guys last night at their album launch party. They had a live guitarist there, and I had to rush for me Metro, so I couldn't get his signature. But the guys, yeah, you can just to see it. The guys signed it for us. They were quite surprised that I asked them to sign it, but thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. But great album nonetheless. Make sure you check this out if you're into melodic black metal. What I probably still end up doing is asking Dan the main man what were his influences when approaching this kind of direction, and then putting those as like for fans of, because I'm not massive into the whole melodic black metal. Like, there's a few bands that I know, but none of them really reach out. It's like, yeah, this kind of sounds like this. So yeah, if you want some for fans of stuff, then link down below to find where you'll find like influences and whatnot. But I'll also leave some links down below to the Bandcamp where you can pick up the CD, cassettes, shirts, and also download the album and the other albums of Despair and Descend into Putridity. So yeah, make sure you check out the new Horrified album, and you're probably just going to laugh at us for trying to pronounce this, but Allure of the Fallen, absolutely amazing album. Definitely check this out if you're into melodic black metal. For an overall score, I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. And what's my focus doing on my camera? Anyway, a 7.5 out of 10. Make sure you check out this album. It's a really solid album, and you definitely need to check it out. So yeah, I'll see you until the next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.